back to another video. Today going to be taking a very first look at this, the Jaguar Sport XJR-15 from 1991 here on Forza Horizon 5. 450 horsepower, 1,000 kilos, super rare racing car effectively from the early 90s, which is in fact the final barn find I found here on Forza Horizon 5. So you can all get yourself one of these by finding all the barn finds if you want to. But yeah, really cool thing. If you don't know much about the XJR-15, we'll get into that in a second. We'll head on out with the car, and I'll run you through a bit of information about it before we do some upgrades and customization. Hopefully not loads, because I don't want to ruin it. So, if you heard it start up there just when we came out to drive, you might have been able to tell it was a lovely 6-litre V12, which is the engine the XJ-220 probably should have had. Definitely a 12-cylinder anyway, before they were shrunk. Anyway, let's drive away from this music quickly. This is middle of S1 class, I think. But yeah, the Jaguar XJR-15, for those of you who don't know, is... well, it was built by Jaguar Sport, not technically Jaguar themselves, although it was a subsidiary of the Jaguar company, of course. And 50 were supposed to be made, but they ended up building 53, apparently. They were £500,000 at the time, £500,000, which in those days, in the early 90s, there wasn't all these £1,000,000 cars that we have these days. So, yeah, quite crazy to think it was that much back then. Produced between 1990 and 1992. Should we have a quick look in this interior? Lots of carbon fibre, very racing car, because it was in fact the first fully carbon fibre road car, arguably, because I think they're all racing cars, they were only later converted to road cars, but anyway. It should be a 5 or 6 speed gearbox, depending on which version it is. No, it's the 5 speed, because it's a road converted one by the looks of it. I think that's how it works. It should be a 6-speed in the racing car. Obviously based on the XJR-9 Le Mans winning Jag, it's very heavily, which is probably why it's quite so good. Handles quite well. I think supposedly in reality they're supposed to be a bit of a handful. In the one-make series it raced in, called the Jaguar Intercontinental Challenge, which supported 3 F1 races of the calendar, followed them to Monaco, Silverstone and Spa. But yeah, it drives really nicely in here, actually. I don't know why I'm surprised. But yeah, I don't know what it is about this. There's just something interesting about it that... I guess it's just so unusual. Not many people have heard of it. It's like the lesser-known XJ-220, but probably a better car. It's just cool. Now, I thought it was going to be fast and not particularly fun to drive, but it's actually really nice on here. I kind of don't want to go and ruin it with upgrades and customization, but I suppose I should go and see what is available. Do you know what? I've got a better idea. Before we go and ruin it, shall we go and find, well, the circuit that's an actual circuit, and do a one-make race with these? Oh, we've somehow got yellow cars. I'm pretty sure they're all this colour, although I think it was slightly greener than this. Because it was quite a bluey colour, yes, but I thought it was kind of a take on British Racing Green. But yeah, there's a lot of yellow ones. Maybe the road cars were yellow? I'm pretty sure all the race cars were this colour. All the ones I've seen are. So I was lucky enough to see a whole pack of these down at Goodwood not that long ago. Probably as well. As many have been in the same place at one time for a while at least. But yeah, there's something cool about it. It's just different. Oh. But yeah, the one complaint I have is why was this added to Horizon 5 in Mexico when we had Horizon 4 in the United Kingdom, where this car is, of course, from? So that's all I'd have said. As a barn find in Horizon 4, this would have been perfect. I don't know what the story is supposed to be of... I mean, the guy says when you pick it up, this is supposed to be at Le Mans, not... Although it never raced there. Well, the XJR-15 that it's based on did. What's it doing out here? And that's, well, it's quite a good point. Why is this in Mexico? Anyway, this is... It's really nice to drive, actually. I'm so pleased. I was thinking it was going to be sort of a handful, lots of power, not much downforce and not much grip, but it's really, really good. Apparently, part of the problem was, I think they had front tyres developed specially for it, and then the back tyres they nicked off a F40 or something weird. So in reality it didn't... It was a bit more oversteering than a lot of the drivers we used to, apparently, when it raced in its one-make series. But yeah, I'm so happy. It drives so nicely. But yeah, we'll finish up this race, then we'll go and do some customization, or at least see what's available. It'd be kind of cool to change the colour, maybe. I know that's probably a horrendous thing to do to such a car, but... Given what some people will do to it in Forza, I think I'm being quite restrained. What car? Right, time to go and, well, arguably ruin it with upgrades. Oh, that's cool at the end there. Right, so here we are. Let's have a quick look at the design paint group things. Yeah, so there is a yellow, which is apparently a factory option, which is interesting. I will just go and check. Hang on, can we not paint... Oh no, we can paint calipers. I'm going mad. I'm going to quickly check what designs people have come up with, whether anybody's done any of the... No. I was going to say, I'll see if anybody's done, like, the racing ones that... They're essentially this colour, but with Jaguar Sport logos and numbers and things. But no, nobody's done that. I find it odd what people do. Like, why is there a... I don't know. People have made it into the actual Le Mans car, I guess. I mean, yeah, but why is there a Japanese police car? Just... Anyway. I'm tempted to make a nice... Well, either... Actually... Do you know what? If we're going to respray it any colour... It should probably be a British Racing Green sort of colour, right? Dark metallic sort of green. If we're going to do anything and not get angry people shouting at me, I probably need to do that. Maybe make it slightly bluer. British Racing Green's often quite blue, isn't it? I mean, that one's kind of irrelevant because that's the... Something like that is actually really nice. And I feel like just to sort of liven it up a bit, maybe we should have some yellow calipers against the green. That always looks good. Actually, can we paint? Please tell me it's the... I was hoping it was going to be the little blue central wheel nut. we're going to be able to paint in a different colour. Right, never mind. Okay, I think that's a subtle enough change that purists will not be angry, and it's still just that slight bit more interesting and different than the blue stock colour. Or the yellow, which I didn't know was a thing. Anyway, now let's have a look at what's here. I don't want to ruin this car, though. We're just looking. V8, V12, yes. No. No. I mean, power, but no. I can't bear to do anything to it. Oh. I'm sorry for what you're about to see. Oh, and the holes the other wing were in is still... Oh, I'm sorry. If anyone has actually been sick, I do apologise. Right, okay, maybe... I found an upgrade we can sneak on without upsetting people. And also that, I mean, not that it drives badly, but I think a couple of subtle changes, like maybe... Yeah, like that fitment is not great. I think if we bring that one out too... Purely visually. Oh, look at that. Oh, I've just noticed why you can't paint the inside of the wheels. It's got the red on this side, blue on the other side that you get on the racing cars, so that you don't get them muddled up. They did a similar thing on the Carrera GT. Okay, that kind of makes sense. That's quite cool, actually. Yeah, the only other bit I would possibly do is like the gearbox and stuff, because I usually mess with that, but... Yeah, no. I want to keep it nice and standard, really. I mean, there's all your usual sort of options. I mean, maybe some better brakes. It looks slightly different. I like the look at the back there. If we had lower race suspension, I would possibly drop it. Weight reduction. I suppose if this is like the road car, weight reduction would make it more like the... Anyway, I won't mess with that. Oh, I love how you can see in the... And the paint colour carries through. There's a lot of the electrical wiring, which I usually associate with hybrids and electric cars back there, but I guess it's just kind of open. They haven't bothered hiding anything, because it's a racing car. But the fact you have a window back through... Can you tell I like this car? Yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. I just can't ruin it. Arguably, I already have, yes. Apparently I've made it heavier. Oh, that'll be those fat tyres. Yes, you might argue I've already ruined it by painting it the wrong colour, but... Imagine it's a wrap, okay? You can take it off. I was just thinking, as we've added a bit of weight with the tyres... Maybe we should take it out again. It's now under 1,000 kilos. Wow. Right, let's see what it drives like now. Slightly lighter, slightly fatter tyres. And looking like that. So out here in the sun, that green looks... Well, fantastic, really, doesn't it? Well, ooh, I put it in reverse. That's not good for the gearbox. I mean, you might disagree, but I think it suits green really, really nicely. If you're going to change the colour, something tasteful like that. Quite subtle changes with that and the yellow calipers. Yes, the tyres stick out a bit more, but personally I think that looks slightly better. It is a bit of a funny looking car, if I'm honest. It's kind of... Because it's a racing car, you've got this sort of bubble in the middle and then these flat sides. But like I say, very much based on the XJR-9. Oh, that's so cool. I'm just so happy it drives well. I've been so disappointed if they put this in and then I drove it and I was like, oh, that's actually horrible, I don't want to drive it again. So what I'd quite like to do, I mean, we're at 890. I really hope it's competitive. One day I might build this to the top of, or I'd kind of like to have two so I can leave one that's stock, but I do want to try this as an S1 class road racer at some point. I'll potentially build one for when we do, or for when I attempt some online adventure stuff. But there you go. It is just cool, isn't it? Well, you might completely disagree with me, but yeah, I love this thing. But anyway, that's kind of all there is to it, because I don't want to completely upgrade it, so it doesn't actually drive that differently to how it did before. But yeah, very much a racing car, so although we're here on the motorway, I'm not really going for the top speed. But anyway, that probably is going to do it for a look at the XJR-15, so do make sure you go and get all of the barn finds. This one I think you unlock during the Jungle Expedition. During the Jungle Expedition it lets you go and find this, like whilst you're in the expedition. So if you want this, go and do that, and you'll find it. I really recommend you do, because it does drive really well. But anyway, I could probably end up driving this all day, so at this point I'll say thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video and you aren't already subscribed, please consider doing so. But otherwise, I'll be back with the next video very soon.